Found out my BF, 28M, cheated on me, 26F, on Christmas Day. My boyfriend and I have been dating for about 3 years. We've been long distance for 2. We've recently been discussing marriage. Before we started dating, he was very promiscuous. He was single then. And when we started dating, he told me that was over with. And while he was promiscuous as a single man, he had never cheated in any relationships he had been in. We started off great, and he was very transparent about who he was meeting and why, and all the other details when he went out. And trust grew over time, such that I stopped needing these details. Over the past year, things have become incredibly difficult for us, being long distance. There have been lots of arguments and fights over small things, and sometimes big things, and it just seemed like we have been moving from argument to argument. Because we figured that distance was the problem, I started flying in to visit him more often, so we could at least spend time together. I've never felt the urge to check his phone, but since I started visiting in February this year, I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something I didn't know. So I started checking his phone. At first it was flirty messages to other girls on Snapchat, and he allegedly had exchanged some inappropriate messages with a very close female friend of his. But they were all gone. Because Snapchat. The messages I did see from my perspective were bad. Because I would never send those kind of messages out, knowing I was in a relationship. We talked about it, and I let it go. He apologized and explained that the messages meant nothing. Everybody he spoke to knew about me, and that he loves me. And yes, they were inappropriate, but it's nothing. I know this is long, but I really need advice, and I'll try to make it shorter. Every visit, there was something on his phone. I'm a very private person, and I've tried to explain protecting your partner. And I found that when we fought, he would send screenshots of our messages to multiple people, and would be talking about me in very dismissive ways. I also found out that he was telling people private information about our sex life, and other things I've begged him to keep private. This last trip, I found out that he's been trying to reach out to his ex, who blocked him. He follows her on his burner account and like all her tweets, and has been trying to get her to accept gifts from him anonymously. He also told 2 of his close friends that he regrets being in a relationship with me, and hope things worked out with her. He's also been flirting with his longtime friend with whom he has one of those "I for not married be 30 inches pacts." He's also been telling people, his male friends, that he's single. It's a bunch of other things that I've forgotten now. But we spoke about everything. He apologized, and things have been fine. He's communicated to various people that he's unhappy. He was asking me why I didn't trust him, and why I kept looking through his phone. One time, after I found a particularly hurtful message, he told me that he hopes that I found what I was looking for. Another day, he made a joke about how forgiving I was, and I was going to leave, but he apologized profusely, and said that he stopped making the joke halfway through and hoped that counted for something. He said he stopped because knew it was inappropriate, and I eventually forgave him. Long story short, I found everything there was to find on his phone, and I knew there was nothing else. I randomly decided to pick up his iPad on Christmas morning and found out that he had been cheating. He cheated just before I came to visit on this trip, and he was texting the girl to let her know he missed eating her out, and other things repeatedly, while I was in the house with him. I'll attach screenshots if I can. We were supposed to spend January together, him coming to visit me, and he was telling her they would see in February after he came to see me. I took the pictures of the texts, and confronted him on Christmas morning. He immediately deleted the chat, and has been begging and saying that he was going to tell me, and that it was a mistake and it was one time, and he got texts from the girl to corroborate that it was one time. I packed my stuff to leave and he followed me until we almost made a scene in the middle of a thankfully empty street. He's been begging since. And I believe now that it was one time. But I don't believe much of what else he's saying. I already miss him. But I don't want to be a fool. All these things are a pattern to me that shows that he doesn't care about me. And he's been fighting tooth and nail for me not to call things quit. Even though I already have. Or to at least give him a chance to fix things. For context, my trip this time was for 6 weeks. He slept with her the Monday of the week I traveled. I traveled on Saturday that week, November 18th. And he's been texting her since then. When I was in the house. This trip was for us to reconnect and fix things. And I've really given it my everything. I thought everything was good. I don't know what to do. Should I give him another chance? Am I silly for thinking that? Or should I just cut my losses and move on? Update. Thanks everyone for your comments. I went back to get the last of my stuff from his apartment. And have blocked him. Unfortunately, I can't change my return ticket. But I'm staying with a friend. And he doesn't know where I am. I'm not taking him back. And will test for STIs once I get back home. Which is a few days away. I honestly already knew what a lot of you are saying. I guess I just needed support. And to make sure I was making the right decision by leaving. Thanks so much. He keeps it up because he knows you'll forgive him. If you stay, you're a chump and he will do it again. Don't be a doormat. You're better than that. Leave and don't look back. Zero contact. He doesn't exist. That's as clear and concise as it needs to be. Please never speak to this disrespectful, foul individual again. He does not deserve you. Also spend some time exploring why you let this man treat you so disrespectfully for so long. Therapy or journaling if therapy isn't feasible. I wish you the best. I'm sorry you're going through this. Merry Xmas Christmas tree. Like he said. And it wasn't a joke. You're too forgiving. He was actively laughing at you. He been cheating your whole relationship by sounds of it. Just block him and get tested. So he says he's never cheated on a relationship before. And yet you caught him cheating? You sure you want to take his word on that? Regardless, the whole situation sounds like a train wreck and you'd be lowering your standards to stay with him. Let his ex and whoever else have him. He clearly doesn't care about you and is only upset he got caught. If you feel the urge to check someone's phone, it's not a healthy relationship. Walk away and find someone more local. Long distance rarely works out unless you have complete trust and a clear plan for someone to move to the other person's location. Why would you ever settle for this? Your boyfriend is gross and you deserve better. Please love yourself more. You should have left him 15 texts ago, lol. Come on. You can't be this naive, can you? This guy does not love you. At all. He just keeps you around cause you're a doormat. I can tell you are still way too into this dude by the amount you wrote, which is bad cause you still want to make it work when you shouldn't. Absolutely 100% cut your losses. Put the only once cheating incident aside. This man belittled you to friends, actively flirts with other women, is aggressively pursuing his ex, and boasts that he knows you will never leave. That is completely untenable to be on the receiving end of. Now add the cheating back in. Know that you cannot trust him when he says it was just once. Even if it was just once with her, there were definitely others. There is no coming back once a partner denigrates you to this extent and has this much active contempt for you. They all start with it was just one time and it is revealed to be years-long affairs. Block him. The most important thing in an LDR is trust. That's been gone for a while now with all his Inappropriate behavior. Don't forget all the other stuff you found on his phone and that he has told his friends he regrets being in a relationship with you. You deserve someone you can trust and who doesn't joke at how forgiving you are. I'll admit, I stopped reading about 3/4 of the way through, because I'm confused how you need advice. How much clearer does this need to be? There are so many things that are deal breakers. The actual physical cheating is simply the most recent and the worst of it. Take a step back and say these things out loud to one of your close friends and family. He messages people inappropriately. He tells people he's unhappy in a relationship with me. He stalks his ex online. He physically cheated and messaged her about it while I was in the same house. How do you think they would react to hearing that? Because that's how you should be reacting. Don't need a house to fall on you? This man is only as loyal as his options. And he's spamming every woman to see who is DTF. You're bending over backwards to make this work and he's on Snapchat like a teenager texting randos. You up? Quote, he is cheating non-stop and you're blaming yourself? Please just end it with him. He's not the man you think he is. He's a sleazy cheater. Get yourself checked for STDs and call it a day. Go into the new year as a single person. He regrets being in a relationship with me, and hope things worked out with her. Girl, this alone should have ended the relationship. You deserve better than someone who speaks this way about you. He has cheated on you repeatedly. How many more chances are you going to give him before you respect yourself and dump this ass? He has zero respect for you or your relationship. He doesn't love you. He doesn't even like you. If you don't leave him, you're going to spend the next however many years repeating the same cycle. He's a lying toad. Why are you putting yourself through this? You deserve better. Leave him. This is not a man of integrity. He will do it again. Sending you love. I also got cheated on when we were doing long distance. I trusted him with my whole heart. It hurts like crazy to let them go, but I'm in a much better place now. We deserve men that would never do anything to risk losing us. Red heart. You have to exit the relationship. Some people will keep up with something if they know they will be forgiven. Also, you are the one traveling. He isn't making the effort. He complains about being in the relationship. He is actively seeking another relationship. Would you rather keep forgiving and end up getting dumped when he does find someone else, or dump him before that betrayal? How is this one time? You're not a fool, but staying with him would be incredibly naive. He said it was one time. But you know that is a lie. He literally had plans to meet with her again in February once you weren't together anymore. He keeps breaking your trust and cheating because he knows you'll forgive him. Stop forgiving someone who is not sorry. An apology without a change in behavior is just manipulation. This man does not respect you. You're still so young. Please free yourself to find the true love of your life who respects you and wouldn't treat you this way. You're in it so you can't see it now. But I feel so confident that you will look back on this and be so grateful you chose yourself. Or you can stay with him for a few more years while this continues to happen and have even more trust issues to untangle after this inevitably blows up. Wishing you luck here. It's never easy to leave. But that is not a sign that it's the right relationship.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.